Hello, I'm Bas. I'm a sound designer at Keoken Interactive and Hunchback Music, and today I'm going to show you how to create an earthquake generator in Faceplant using granular synthesis. Sounds like these are really useful in sound design as layering tools or to make your sound more rich. By creating a generator like this, you can create endless variations in the sound. So without further ado, let's dive into the project and see how it works. And here we are in our project. I will start out with previewing the patch that we are going to create today. All right, and without further ado, I will close this patch and open a new one. Here we are in a blank slate of Faceplant. Today we are only going to use granular modules for this. This is a form of synthesis that's completely based on samples, and it's great for adding more variety to your sound and make it more lifelike, I would say. I will add the granular patch, and I will start out by adding the first sample I'm going to use for that. I will preview that sample right here. I put it here in my project, and I'm going to add a sample of more sliding rocks. We want to create a low rumble in our sound at first. The sound that I will use is this. It has some nice low textures to it, and it's all about sliding. And I'm going to use that to create a sub for our sound. I'll load it in right here. And I will start out by previewing it. I'll boost the gain. And I will add more length to our samples and put the grains a little bit down. I will make variations in the position. Turn the grains up a little bit. Just like so. After that, I will create an LFO, and I will select the sawtooth ramp up. I will use that to modulate a little bit of the start position of our granulator, or our granulator module. Granular module, I should say. I will add a little bit of attack as well here. About 1.5 seconds, and add a big release. After this, I will create a little bit more variation in the timing and in the pitch. I will put the pen at, let's say, 71% to create more stereo information. And I will create a random generator. I'll put that random generator on, let's say, 2.2 Hertz. I will smoothen the data, and I will use this as only an additive module. And I will use this for randomizing some of the parameters that we have in our module here. I will start with randomizing the grain envelope and some of the grains. I'll also randomize a little bit of the position. All right. To add a proper sub, or to create a proper sub of this, we need to boost the load a little bit. And for that, I will add an instance of multipass. I will add an instance of snap-heap, in here, I am going to set this 2 lanes on parallel and turn the volume down because I only want to hear the first one at first. I will create a low pass here, create a distortion, and set it on saturate and boost it quite a bit. I'm also going to pitch the sample with, let's say, 12 semitones. Back into Snap Heap, I'm going to really only use the lows here. Add a disperser and a limiter where I boost the input. After that, I will add a filter on the other bus that's parallel here, and I will make a high pass, and I will slowly open the gain here. This as well can use a little bit of distortion, and I will put this on saturate, turn it a little bit down. Mix of 79. That should be good for now. After this, I will create another module, and this is going to be a granular generator as well. I'll put the attack similar to the other one, so let's say at around 1.6 and 3 seconds of release. And here I'm going to add another sample. This time it's going to be more about impact, rock impact. So for that I used this sample. I will preview it here. So for this part, it's nice to have an already designed impact sound of rocks, which I will have over here. I will create another random generator for this and put it also around, let's say 1.9, smoothen it and make it a little bit less chaotic. I will put it on additive as well, and I will randomize here the sample play position with it. Let's preview it. For this, I want to route it to another lane because I don't want to boost the lows as much as it did with the first one. So by routing it to lane 2, it's separated from the process of the first granular generator that we created. And I will route the second lane to the lane, or the first lane to lane 3. I will mute this for now so that we can only hear, we will only hear our second generator. I will increase the envelope size with quite a bit, as well as the grains. I will also add more stereo information by adding the pen. I will add a little bit of randomization to the position and to the pitch as well. I will also increase the randomization, speed of the randomizer that is going through the sample. And add a bit more of grains. It needs to be a continuous sound. That's what I'm going for. Add a gain here as well, or boost the gain. And I'm now going to use another random generator, which I will put on a really low speed. Smoothen it as well. And this one is going to be additive and subtractive to the parameter that we are going to hook it up to. And I will use it to randomize a little bit of the pitch. Not that much, I would say like, yeah, 1.3 semitones in both directions. And I will also use it to randomize the grain envelope for a little bit. In our lane 2, I will add a slice EQ, and in the slice EQ, I'm going to add a low pass and boost the highs a little bit. Now let's start to mix it with the other sound. It's quite nice, but I think our second generator or granular generator is a little bit too continuous. So I will turn down the volume with quite a bit and use one of the random generators that we created to automate the volume. Like so. All right. I will call the first generator rocks low and the second one rocks high. All right, we already create quite a bit of the rock sounds that we need in our earthquake generator. The next thing that we are going to do is add some metal vibration sound effects. For that, I have this sound prepared, also just from a library, and it's the sound of some vibrating metal. This is going to be way more subtle compared to the previous samples. And for creating it, I'm just briefly going to mute these two generators. I'm going to create another granular, and I'm going to select the sample. Here we are. I will add a little bit of attack as well, comparable to the other ones. So about 1.6 to start with, and about 3 seconds of release. And I'm going to use a new random generator. And this one is going to be additive as well. I put it on also a low frequency and make it can be as chaotic as we want. I will use it once more to generate variation in the start position of a sample, and I will smoothen the signal. And after that, I will preview it. Increase the grain size to about 1 second and increase the grains. I will also add a little bit of pitch variation, stereo information by adding the pen, and randomize the position. I'm going to use the second, the other slow random generator, or modulator I should say, to automate the volume of the gain here. And I will send it also to, this time to lane 3. I mix it in with the other sounds, turn the other ones on. And as you can hear at this point, it's not quite going through the mix here. And because we're making quite an intense sound, I'm going to add some distortion on our metal sound. Let's preview it. sounds all right. I also want to do the same thing as we did here, but then this time with a little bit of high-pitched squeaks. For this, I prepared another sound, and this time it's more high-pitched squeaking of metal. And to quickly do this, I'm just going to copy this generator by holding Control. And I will call it metal squeak. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. And I will select that sound here in my user sound effects library. We already have the randomization of the previous the previous granular generator. But this time I just want to automate the gain with the other random generator. So I'll use this one for this, so that we have a little bit more variation there. It's a little bit too high-pitched for my liking, so I'm going to add, before the distortion, I'm going to add a filter which is only cutting off the really high end here. I'm also going to turn down the grains by quite a bit. Decrease the random pitch here a little bit. I'm tuning it down also a little bit. So that it will mix a little bit better with the other sound effects. After this, I'm going to create another granular, and I'm going to do that by copying our previous granular generator, just to add some debris sound effects here. For this, I used some debris sound effects from a library. It's over here. It's just some debris being thrown around, and I'll use that in this generator. I'm going to remove the filter here and put the drive a little bit down and see how that sounds. It's not really audible yet, and I think it can also use even more randomization on the volume part of things. We need a really slow randomizer for this, so I will create a randomizer like around 1 Hertz. That's perfect. Smoothen it and make it a little bit less chaotic. Make it only additive as well, so that we have control of the gain. Put it on here. Increase the drive quite a bit. I will also route it to lane 2. I'm also going to randomize the grain size here, or the grain envelope. And I use one of the other generators, random generators, to modulate the grain itself. I think we're almost there. This time I'm going to add one more debris sound effects, this time for more glass related sounds. I'm going to use this sample of breaking glass for it. And that's basically for adding just a little bit more variation to our sound. I'm going to replace that with sound effect. I'm just made a copy of our previous debris generator, and I'm going to remove the random generator here and just add a little bit of the ramp down modulator. I'm going to increase the grain size. That's something that we can also do in the debris generator. Gain down a little bit on the other debris generator. And with the glass sound effects, I think we are better off by lowering the grain size actually to 1.9. Make it a little bit softer as well. All right, now we are going to look into the mix a little bit more. And I will do that by adding a 3-band EQ and just boost the low end of our Rox low. I will do the same thing for our high Rox at a 3-band EQ, and I'll boost the highs a little bit. After that, I will add a compressor over here, and I will take the dynamics for this. Just do it like this. I'm going to turn this a little bit down. Increase the out gain. And I will add a limiter just to be sure. All right. Well, now our whole sound is generated and our whole patch is almost ready. The only thing that we need to do is add some macro controls so that we can easily mix our sound. We can do that by adding the first macro, and we just add it to the gain. The gain here is set to almost 0 dB. So we're going to put it all the way down, take macro 1, put it over here, increase it until we match that 0 dB. On the gain. I'll put it all the way open. I will call this Rox low. Going to do the same thing for Rox high. This time it's a little bit more interesting because we have a random generator that's modulating the gain here. So what I'm going to do is add macro 2 as a automation of our the amount that this random generator is modulating our gain by adding this like this. If we put it open, then it's going to modulate it more. The base value of our gain here is minus, let's say, 10 dB. So I'm going to put this all the way down and increase or automate the volume until it matches minus 10 dB, which you can see there in blue. And this way we open up the macro. It's modulating the gain more, and it's also increasing the gain. I will call this Rock High. And I'm going to do similar things for all the other granular generators. So in this case, we have some gain, and I will modulate automate the modulator, see what the base instance is minus 21, put it all the way down, put on the gain here and match minus 21. And I will call this metal vibration. I'll go to the next generator and I will do the same thing. It's also -21. Put it all the way down. And match the volume. Then again for the debris. -24. Call it debris 1. And eventually also do that for, debris 1. And eventually also do that for debris 2. It's -24 as well. And there we are. And if I press this, if I play the sound now, it should sound exactly the same, but we can mix it along the way. And there you have it. That's the basic patch for an earthquake generator. One additional thing that you could do is adding a convolver, load in, for example, the art museum, put the mix all the way down and modulate or automate it with your with one of your open macros. And by doing that, you can add a little bit of reverb and place it in a room. You can also do that in post-processing. It will sound like this. All right, so our final result of today is the following patch. I will play it once more. All right, that was about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you in the next video. See you.
Hey there, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like this one, check out this video or that video. If you want to support the channel, make sure to click on top of my head on the logo and subscribe to the channel.